Parking is obviously a very important component of driving. Despite that fact, it seems that nobody can really do it right. I've seen people double parked sideways across parking spots, whether doing it on purpose or on accident. It would be better if everybody could park correctly. Well, we made a tutorial already on parallel parking, which you can see here. Even normal perpendicular parking can cause some issues. So here are some tips to get you into the parking spot every time. Once you've located the spot, make sure to look in your rear view mirror to make sure that nobody's coming up behind you quickly. If there is, you can signal, let them pass, or you can have them wait for you to park. I'm going to be pulling into a parking spot on the left side of the car, so I'm going to signal to the left. Now, to get into the space as easy as possible, we're going to be as far right as we can. If the parking spot was on the right side of the road and there is no double yellow and there's nobody coming on the opposite direction, we want to be as far left as possible. This just makes the turning angle a lot easier to get into the spot. Once we've signaled to make sure there is nobody behind us, pull forward slowly until your mirror appears to be in the middle of the spot. Now, it's not actually parallel with the spot, it just appears that way from your point of view of the driver's seat. That will assure that you enter the spot directly in the middle. Now turn the steering wheel, not quite all the way, but almost. Now slowly creep forward. You might need to give it a little gas, but definitely ride the brake to make sure that you don't actually crash into the cars. Do this very, very slow because you don't want to crash into the cars, of course. Now, if you have to make manual adjustments, you can turn the steering wheel to the left and to the right to make sure that you are equidistant between the two cars. In this case, I did a pretty good job of being in the center, but you can still turn it to the left and to the right to make little fine adjustments. Pull forward until the front of the vehicle is almost at the parking stop. If your car is low, if you actually go past the parking block, you could crack your front bumper. If not, it can drive over and you can almost touch it with your wheels. Don't leave your car with the wheels crunched against it. However, it's not good for your tires, so make sure to back up off that a little bit. Now, if you didn't get directly in the spot, equidistant from either side, I would suggest backing out, straight out, and going back in again. That way you avoid door dings on your car. It makes it easier for you to get out as well as makes it easy for the other people to get out. So I'm a little bit too close to the Lamborghini here. I'm going to reverse. Now to move over to the right, I'm going to turn the steering wheel to the right a little bit to swing the back end to the right. Now turn it back to the left. That brings the front around. I'm going to pull backwards, looking behind me. Now, put it back into drive straight forward into the center of the spot. And that is how you do the first technique. The second technique of parking involves passing the parking spot and backing in. So let's try that now. Again, we're going to go into the same spot on the left side of the car, but this time we are going to back into the spot. Maybe one car is pulled forward a little more than the other and it makes it easier to back in, especially if the first car, like the Lamborghini, it's pulled too far forward into the spot, so sometimes pulling in frontwards is going to be difficult. So let's pass the spot, creep forward until the rear end of the car is just past the second line, so the second line where the Kia is parked. That will allow you the right angle of approach. Now put it in reverse, turn the steering wheel almost all the way. Make sure that the front of your car is clearing. And now look behind you. And it's the same technique as before, guiding the car in between the two vehicles, trying to make it equidistant between the two, adjusting if need be. I'm a little bit too close to the Lamborghini, so I'm going to continue the steering wheel going to the left, turn it back to the right, straighten out, and continue backwards. Usually you don't have to worry as much about the parking stops when you're backing into the spot because the rear end of your car is likely higher than the front. So there you go. Of course, there's other scenarios where you could be pulling into a spot at an angle, but angled spots actually make it easier because the approach angle is less severe. Well, I hope you found that video informative. Go out there, practice your parking, and hopefully if everyone gets good at parking, parking lots will no longer be a crazy mess where 4 parking spots that should be available are taken up by people that are crossing the lines. Look forward to seeing you next video.